Coming up, I'll show you how to skin a deer, so stick around. Hi, I'm the OCD Hunter, bringing you tips, tricks, DIY hacks, and other useful ways that my OCD can help make your life a little bit more simpler. Before we begin, let me first say, if you're easily offended, turn this video off now. I'm going to show you how to skin a deer, and some might consider this a little graphic in nature. I'm no butcher, but I can get the job done. To me, a deer carcass is no different than going to the store to buy steaks or to walk out to your freezer and get chicken breast. It's meat from an animal, and all animals need to be processed so they can be cooked in the kitchen. It is also my belief that by processing yourself, you can save some money and learn a valuable skill at the same time. So those who are watching that are being offended, you have been warned. I hunt for meat in the freezer to provide for my family. I do not hunt for sport because I just don't believe in it. So now I've given you ample warning and time to leave this video. So if you stuck around, it's your own fault. Now that I'm off my soapbox, for those of you who are interested, I hope that this and my future deer processing videos can help you to process your own game and help you save money as well as learn this valuable skill. Typically after I harvest a deer, I field dress the deer immediately. I did not video that part this year. I should have, but I just didn't. If there's enough interest, comment and let me know, and I might do one later. But for now, there are plenty of gutting videos out there on YouTube for you in the meantime. If it's cold enough, and by cold I mean the mid-40s, I do hang my deer for several days. What I've been taught is that by hanging the deer, it allows the meat to get all the blood out. Plus, the bacteria allows to break down the meat, which actually makes the meat a little bit more tender. After it is hung for about 4 or 5 days, I'll skin the deer out. Today I'm testing out William Collins Master Woodsman 2 to see how well it does as a skinning tool. I'll do some videos on his knives later, but let me just put it this way. I've gotten rid of a lot of my knives because of them. Skinning an animal is not hard at all. Normally I hang feet up. My gambrel unfortunately is stuck in one place, so I can't lift the whole animal. So yes, I have to bend over and get some work done. The first thing I do is remove the front legs. The curved part of the blade between the Scandi and the saber edge on this dual grind knife is great for this because it cleanly cuts through the hide with no problem. If you feel along the leg, you will feel the joint. I cut around the leg and then either snap off the leg or saw them off. If I have a saw, I prefer this method. Snapping them can sometimes leave a sharp edge. Next, I move up to the hind legs. I will follow up the leg, allowing the back of the knife to ride up the meat of the leg, while the blade splits the hide. As I go up, I'll use the fat belly of the butcher style blade to start to skin down and around the leg. I'll stop about where the gambrel is holding the animal. Here you can see the gambrel is held in place because it's between the ligament and the bone. You need to be careful skinning around this ligament because if you cut it, the deer will fall. I work the knife slowly around the leg. As I go, I will continue to use the big swoop of the belly to remove the skin. I'll come behind the back of the leg and continue to skin to get a flap of skin that hangs off the back end. I'll repeat the same process for the other side, going up the leg while skinning around it. When I reach the back of the leg, being careful around the ligament, and then creating a flap on the other back side. One thing to keep in mind is to avoid cutting into these scent glands. They are called the tarsal glands, and they secrete a fatty liquid. Plus, bucks will actually rub urine on them. This will definitely taint the meat. I just totally avoid them and don't go near them when I'm cutting. I'll pull down the hide so the top is in line with the tail. The tail has small bones in it and attaches to the pelvis. I'll take the knife and go between the first tailbone and the pelvis down the hide, and with a twist of the knife, it pops and separates from the pelvis. Now that you have that off, you can simply grab the hide and pull down to begin to remove the skin down the back of the animal, and continue to pull off the hide until I'm about halfway down the animal. Once I'm there, I go back to the front legs. Here you can see by cutting off the front part of the legs, there's almost like a sleeve of skin on the leg. I'll cut up the leg like I did the back leg, using the back of the knife as a guide along the meat. But I usually use the front shoulder for the grinder pile, so I don't worry too much if I do cut into the meat. I'll continue to skin around the leg as I go up. But you have to work the blade up the leg and into the armpit. I'll then do this for the other leg too, running the knife up the leg and getting it as high as I can into the armpit area, and using the fat part of the blade to skin around the leg as I go. Once I've skinned up the legs, I'll return to the back, pulling it down and using the knife to break any connective tissue. As I reach the legs, you can see where I can poke my finger under the hide where I skinned up the front leg. I simply put the knife through that hole and slice through the skin. I'll do that for both sides and then continue to work my way down the animal. You can see here where I missed skinning some on the front leg because of how the leg was positioned. So I continue to use the belly of the blade and the tip to free the skin from the leg. Once I'm past the legs, I start to work the skin down the neck. But at this point, since I can't raise the animal anymore, to make it easier, I'll just cut the hide off at this point and then finish the neck. I find for the neck, the easiest way is to run the tip straight down the back side of the neck, much like how I would use a knife on the legs, basically unzipping the last part of the skin. Finally, I'll work the skin down the neck on all sides using the belly of the knife and cut it off the carcass all around the circumference of the neck. Next, I'll take the knife at the base of the neck and cut the meat to the bone all the way around it. This will allow access for the saw, and I'll cut off the head. The final part of skinning is to remove the bulk of the fat of the animal. This is called tallow, and leaving it on the meat gives it that gamey flavor. You can see in some areas it is really thick. Once I've removed most of that fat, my skinning process is really done, and I'm ready to quarter it out. I'll do that in the next video. I hope you can see that skinning your own deer isn't too difficult. I'm the OCD Hunter, and I hope that my continual painstaking practice of changing, fixing, and improving on ideas will help you out in your endeavors. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Click the bell next to the subscribe button to get notified of new videos. Comments are always welcome. Ooh, it's starting to rain real bad. I'm no butcher, but I can get the job done. See, to me, a deer Now, I'm not a butcher, but I can get the... I'm gonna show you how to debone the front quarter. Shut up. I got a dog hanging out the window barking at me. Today I'm testing out William Collins I'm standing in the rain here. And if it's cold enough, Before we begin, let me first say that if you're easily offended, turn this video off now. Seriously, go!